deciding who does what. So this would have been your forming stage. After forming, the stage is comfortable. We are avoiding conflict, and the job gets done, whatever we were doing. The team meets and learns about opportunities, challenges, agrees on goals, begins to tackle the tasks. Well, it is kind of unfortunate, including like me. I'm not seeing you. I'm not in a classroom with you. You are not seeing your partners probably on a regular basis if you are seeing them. So most of the work is done over the internet. There is a definitely unfortunate part to this. We don't have human contact enough. I constantly talk to this computer in my sitting room. However, even with the barrier, distance, and so on, we should be able to do the job. So so team members meet and learns about each other. They tend to behave independently, are usually on their best behavior. Mature team members begin to model appropriate behavior. Mature doesn't mean older. Mature means somebody who is more responsible, I believe. This is important because in this stage, members of the team get to know one another, exchange some personal information, and they may make some new friends. So now you are moving to a storming stage. Storming stage is which different ideas come to consideration. Now, at this stage, each of you have some idea how to go about solving the problem. Some ideas may not meet at all. You may actually get into confrontations. The team addresses issues such as what problem they are really supposed to solve. Because at this point, like, you may have different approach to what you are solving, how they will function independently and together. And then what leadership model they will accept. Because in some cases, and we have seen that happening very often, when one student wants to take full responsibility because that one student wants to get his A and he can't bother with the others, and then he may try to get their point across and so on. In others, the teams never leave this stage. This is a really bad situation. If you are constantly fighting and bickering and you are not agreeing what is happening, then you cannot come up with one decision and move forward. So even if you think you are the person with the most correct answer in the world, you have to then get your ideas across, and if team is not accepting, you have to reconsider and see why they are not accepting. What is their what is their ideas? Like sometimes we are so caught up in our own ideas, we don't see other people's point. So we have to develop those skills. The team should be able, because those skills are extremely important for rest of your life. Even when you are married, those of you who are married or have girlfriends, boyfriends, you know that very often you are getting into confrontation because the other person, or it's you, cannot see the point of view of the partner, of the team member. If you don't see the other person, then you are always left in this stage. You don't come out of this stage. Hopefully, you will be able to communicate and to come out of it, because at the end of storming stage, let us see what is happening next. Yes. So why the storming stage is necessary? This is necessary for the growth of the team. Can be contentious, unpleasant, and even painful to members of the team. who are kind of against conflict. Some people are more argumentative, the others are more soft. So for a soft person, this should be really painful. So we have to actually, once again, learn to see the other person's perspective, learn to criticize without being confrontational, and we have to grow. Tolerance of each team member and their differences should be emphasized. Without tolerance and patience, the team will fail. Actually, we have seen people fighting over simple things, simple decisions, simple tasks. So, again, we all have different level of tolerance and different level of aggressiveness. It doesn't mean that we are born with it. Even if you are born with it, you have to learn to deal with it. So we have to develop tolerance, acceptance, and also to be critical. This phase can become destructive to the team and will lower the motivation if allowed to get out of control. Some teams will never develop past this stage. Really unfortunate, but it may happen. My suggestion, once again, we are all different. Some of us are more confrontational than the others. Some of us are more loud than the others. So we should know our drawbacks, we should listen to the others, and we should be able to get the team out of this stage. What's next? Next is your norming stage. So at this point, you have a single goal, which means you decided exactly what you are doing, which of the suggested approaches you are taking. You already have a mutual plan. And this now is very important because team now exactly knows what you are doing. At this point, each member also knows what the member is doing. Some may have to give up their own ideas and then agree with the others in order to make the team function. Once again, this is applicable not only for your design but for your own family life. Sometimes we have to just give up our own ideas or at least modify our own ideas in order for the team to survive and move forward, in order for the family to move and move forward. Team members take the responsibility and have ambition to work for the success of the team's goal. So once again, in real life, what we do, we either stick to the goal and we keep the team going, or we say we cannot deal with this, I'm coming out of the team and so on. Unfortunately, once the team is formed, it is less likely for you to leave the team because the projects are moving forward. You are reaching somewhere January, February. At this stage, you should be in January in norming stage. So at this stage, it's very difficult to leave the team and go and join to another team if you are in university. If you are in workplace, you may leave the team. That may also mean you have to leave the job. So you have to make your decisions. Also, we have to learn to pick our fights. You should know when you are agreeing, when you are disagreeing, and what is your level of response. Now, the danger here is that members may be so focused on preventing conflict that they are reluctant to share controversial ideas. Again, as I said, we have to choose our battles. Sometimes, if your idea is very important, even if that is going to take into some kind of conflict, some kind of controversy, maybe you have to voice it. You have to say it. You have to inform your supervisor that this is the situation. Maybe we have to solve it a bit differently. So that is unhealthy potential for a group think. It is unhealthy in a family situation too. Sometimes one of the two partners just because they don't want to fight, they keep quiet. So what happens at the end, the problem is not solved, the team goal is not achieved just because one person decided to keep quiet, to keep his ideas or her ideas to herself. So next now, oh gosh, this thing keep. This is the highest stage in team dynamics. That's a performing stage. The high-performing teams tend to reach the performing stage, which means your team should actually grow to this. High-performing teams are able to function as a unit as they find way to get the job done smoothly and effectively without inappropriate conflict or the need for external supervision. Remember I said, well, external supervision is your supervisor who is giving you some directions, but that direction should not be about team dynamics. A couple years ago, we had a team in chemical. At the very end, they were not talking to each other at all. They were trying to have two separate presentations because that conflicting, that stage two, they just did not come out of it. It was very, very sad, I can say. Over all these years, I am at Chemical. That was the only case that two team members could not work at the end together. They kind of end up as strangers during presentation. That definitely showed in their grades as well. Yes, the job was not done properly. So high-performing teams, once again, are able to function as a unit as they find ways to get the job done smoothly and effectively. Again, high-performance teams are by this motivated and knowledgeable. Team members are now competent, autonomous, and able to handle the decision-making process without supervision. The less supervision, meaning less intervention from your supervisors you are getting, more it shows that you as a team functioning perfectly. If the supervisor has constantly show you which way to go, tell you what to do, and so on, that shows that you are not working as a good team. So apart from actually doing the design, you have to also develop these skills. Normally when universities or job places asking us for recommendation, we always have to say how the student works individually and in a team setting. And believe me, we know from your responses, from your questions, from your behavior, we know the team dynamics. So it is going to reflect also in your recommendations. I'm telling you, always when you are going for further study or you are going for job applications, those points are included. How the team, if the student can function in a team setting. I think this is it. It's 11 o'clock now. So I forgot to pause the recording for those 10 minutes. Those of you who are going to look at recording, you can just skip those because that will be like 10 minutes of like doing nothing. At this point, if you have questions about your project, I can answer. If you have any other questions about what is happening, where we are moving, again, I can answer. If not, we actually finished today's class. I want a group, I cannot give a name, but I want at least one or two of your groups present your project next class in a form of maybe few slides or I can allow you to share the screen. You can write on the screen, you can type on the screen, and so on. So I want you to share your project, and we as a group can look at it, can ask questions. And that would be like background, problem statement, maybe functional requirements of your project. Over the years, we had some students doing it, and it is useful. And it will be useful to you too, because more people are looking at it, criticizing, asking questions, more ideas you can get about your project. Now to you people, do you have any questions that you would like to clarify before I go?
Miss?
Yeah.
So you're saying that for if the fact that we have a person from from Dr. Bramwell's group, you're
Yes.
saying all we have to do is just identify on the document.
Yes.
Where on the.
And more than likely, you have to submit 2 copies of your document, one to me, one to Dr. Bramwell. It's the same document, really. But
Okay.
on the title page, you have to put your name and put Friday 9 to 12, and your friend's name, let's say Thursday 9 to 11.
Okay.
8 to 11, I think they are.
So there shouldn't be like, because I understand that sometimes there's a different view in how
Yes,
probably.
there is. There is a different view. Let's say what I'm grading on what she's grading will be different, which means if it is a minor difference, let's say I give you 70, she gave you 72, that's not a big deal. But if there is a major difference, remember it's a 10 marks. So 70 is 7, 72 is 7.2.
Okay.
However, if there is a major difference, let's say I give you 50 and she's giving 90, then we have to actually sit together, that's me and Dr. Bramwell, and see what happens, which one of us miss a point. And we normally agree on one final grade. Again, in a minor differences, we are not going to do much, but major differences, definitely we have to find out what happened, why we disagree so badly.
Okay, so it's just one document with both names. That's.
Yes, one document for 2 of you, or 3 of you, 4 of you, depending on number of group members. But it goes to everyone, people. In your document, title page should have your names, ID number, and it should have your class time, meaning Friday 9 to 12 or Tuesday 12 to 3. That is to locate you in an ISAS, because ISAS doesn't have one long list. It has your location by your class time. So even right now, I have you as one list. If it happens that some of you are in my Tuesday class, some of you are in my Friday class, then ISAS doesn't show you in one list. It shows in 2 different lists. So I have to go and find you. I should know exactly in which list are you. And I hope there are no people who are from, let's say, Thursday, but they are coming to my class Friday. Are there? Do we have anyone who is officially in Thursday but coming to Friday classes? Okay, so let us hope not. Any other questions, people? No questions. Looks like you are all okay.
Yes, Miss. I just the fact that the project, you say we can use a theoretical project in the meantime until.
Yes, you can use a theoretical project. Then it's going to be a theoretical need for that project. I don't know, you are an electrical engineer, no?
Correct.
Okay, so you have your interest, like the interest was that what was it? The power stations?
Yes, that's what they had something direct. There was a topic directly speaking to what I want there. It was about using having an uninterruptible power supply pretty much. So you're going to be using your renewables, a generator and your mains from the GPS core. So it should provide a connection where there is no uninterrupted break. You should always have power being supplied.
Okay, let's say if I have a generator,
Yeah.
which is connected, which chips in when there is a disruption.
Yes.
So you are saying that project was disruption should not happen at all. Generators should come on without me noticing it.
Well, yes, generators or your solar panels.
Yes, or yeah, anything
That's
like backup.
free. Yeah. So if you lose your GPS power, you can get it from either your generator or your solar panel.
But then people do that. The only difference is when you lose the power between that point and the generator chipping in, there is a minute or two, depending how system is generated. There is a break and then the generator steps in.
Well, as you said, I noted when I read it, you from the last class, you're saying that the topic should be a bit open-ended. So what I'm thinking is that it could be some way done in a manner of using a controller, or so to speak, to monitor when you have access to each um supply. Like say for instance, because I did a bit of alternative renewable energy, like well, I would know that during the 12 o'clock hours, 1 o'clock thereabout, you'd get full sun. So maybe you could switch from your GPS means and use that full sun during that hours to also reduce your
Okay, I
power.
understand. It's
Yeah,
not just because it's an accident, it's just because you want to reduce the consumption from the.
consumption.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
okay. But why don't you then, well, it's really a good idea, meaning like the system is deciding when to switch to what.
To what yet, or you can manually control what you would want to do. That's what I thought about afterwards, but I'm thinking maybe it's too narrow, and I was trying to get
No,
it.
you can actually find out, read on it, make it your hypothetical project for now, and you may actually communicate your project. Like read on it. Maybe some people came up with a similar solutions. Maybe there are some solutions that you and I can never think of, but somebody did. So you look at all those things, you come up with your system, your problem statement, and you may present it to your head of department. Maybe somebody will be interested to work with it.
That's what I've been trying to do all
Yes,
week. 'Cause I
yeah.
had this idea from last week, and I tried to call and get through, but I got through, but it seems that he's busy, so he didn't get a chance to.
Okay, but there is always email.
Yes, true. Yes, I will send him a formal email.
Okay, so, and that goes for rest of you too. If you don't have a project, but you are interested in something, you can create your hypothetical project for my assignment too. But if your hypothetical project is doable or it's interesting, you may actually get it through and do it. Because sometimes projects are coming from students, not from lecturers. So you could have look at it, and Richard, in your case, maybe your reading can give you some more ideas. I would suggest very strongly all of you start reading on your designs, because ideas are coming when you are reading what is done already. It's very difficult just to sit at your computer and come up with the bright ideas.
Okay, Miss. Thank you. I'll work on it because I do believe it is a bit different. Because as I said, it's a project that is there and someone has already selected it. So I was just trying to find a spin
If your
of,
project is different from theirs, why not? You can have two projects going.
okay, because
Yeah.
that is what I'm truly interested in.
Okay. It's actually a good project. I believe we need some projects like that. I personally need one like that. I'm looking for possible implementation of solar panels, but I don't want to spend too much money on batteries. Batteries are too expensive. So I
Yes,
would rather do something like that. If you find out how to have an AC to work cheaper, I will buy that too.
that was also something I've thought about before.
If you find any way of having the AC or cooling the houses, then I will buy that idea.
Okay, sure, no problem.
Yeah. Okay, then, people, I finished for today. If there are no other questions, I'll see you next week. Next week, we are talking about lit review. Have a good day then.